Yo, what is up, boys? How's it going? And welcome back to another stream slash video. Let's talk about the One Piece Netflix trailer. The Trash Taste boys are talking about it. This is the last reaction I'm gonna do. I'm kind of done with it. The trailer succeeded in getting us excited. There's some good things I saw, some bad things I saw, and overall, we don't really know until we see it. Let's see what the boys have to say.
Trailer looks.
Yeah, while we're on something topical.
Oh, yeah.
While we're on something topical.
As a One Piece expert,
I mean,
mid.
it's.
Hold up, back up. Back up for a second.
Well, to be fair, everything you probably have
Did he just say it's mid?
read right now is probably going to be
well, no,
in.
100%.
yeah, it's only going to go up
yeah.
like
I'm
like
the
over
grand line.
halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you, in case you missed it, Netflix right now is making a live-action One Piece series. It's coming out end of August, and people are very divided about it.
Okay.
I wouldn't say people are actually divided. I think there's a consensus.
I think everyone's just clickbaiting for content, and no one really knows what's gonna happen.
The consensus is, wow, I thought it was gonna suck.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I thought it was gonna suck, but it actually doesn't look that bad, but might still be bad.
suck as much as I thought it would. You know?
I'm going to say something brave.
Okay.
All right.
I think it's going to be kind of sucky. I think it's going to be.
Why is that brave? What?
There's nothing.
It's kind of brave.
What
I think
is
it's kinda
brave? What
'Cause
is
the consensus is that it's probably going to be decent.
No, the consensus is it looks
Yo, my camera quality looks like shit today. I don't know why. I apologize. Sorry.
decent, but I'm holding my breath.
Yeah, the consensus was everyone thought it was going to suck, and then they're like, "Oh, maybe I'll give this a chance." Actually.
Yeah, everyone was
Maybe I'll-"
expecting it to be like Dragon Ball evolutions of that.
Yeah.
Right? But so far with this teaser trailer, I personally am like, I have positive skepticism over it, where it's like, I am almost looking forward to this. Like, I'm going to watch it, and if it ends up sucking, it ends up sucking. Whatever, we can laugh about it collectively afterwards.
Yeah.
But like, I'm kind of feeling after this trailer, my consensus on it is very similar to my consensus after I first.
I feel like regardless, there's gonna be passion involved, and Oda's involved, and the directors are trying to stay true to a certain extent. And just because of that, it's like it'll be watchable. It just whether or not they're able to go to the next mile and get us to fall in love with the characters and the world and pull off and not make things look too janky and too bad.
Saw the Cowboy Bebop trailer, which was an awesome trailer,
look how
got
that
me
turned
really
out.
excited about it, and then in the end, it turned out to be not as great as
Yeah.
everyone was expecting it to be.
Too
So
bad.
Yeah, because fucking they changed entire characters, entire plot points, and honestly the entire story. By the end of the story, it was barely Cowboy Bebop. It just had a main character named Spike.
I feel that it might end up being that way.
Yeah, because the thing about Cowboy Bebop is that it had a fucking awesome trailer. The trailer,
Dude, they changed so much though. Vicious and Julia, it's like they were completely different characters with like, and they ended up doing completely different things. It was crazy how much they changed. And I feel like the trailer looked so cool, but honestly, at the end of the day, it's a trailer. It got us excited. It succeeded in that, and we watched it, and it was bad. And the same thing could happen with One Piece because the trailer didn't look too bad, honestly. Will they be able to capture the characters and maintain the story to a certain extent? Because if they were to change stuff with One Piece East Blue, then the rest of One Piece is ruined, and they'll never be able to do a season 2. And I feel like this is a cash cow. This is potential for a cash cow. Don't fucking blow it. Okay, now I'm getting heated again.
Yeah.
actually, like I
Trailer
remember
was
watching it.
sick.
I remember watching it, and I was like, "This is it. This is going to be the one that
Yep.
fixes everything that has come before it."
How can you even say that about a trailer, though, to a certain extent? I guess I said I had a lot of hot takes when it came to the One Piece trailer, but it's like watching the Cowboy Bebop trailer. It's like, oh my god, they have the vibe down and the music and the fights kind of look cool. It's like they have some things they did right, but from a trailer, like you really don't know because at the end of the day, it comes down to the fucking characters in the story. Like, are they able to what's it called, capture the essence of the characters we fell in love with? And does the storyline stay true to a certain extent? I'm gonna watch the video instead of keep on talking.
It's like Watanabe
And then-
Shinichiro's involved. They brought back Yoko Kanno.
Yeah.
Like the stars had aligned, and then a giant comet came and destroyed all the stars. You
Yeah.
know?
I
So-
mean, I feel like you can get a lot of the people who are involved in the original involved, but it's still kind of tough to translate it from animation to live action. And even with this
I think Cowboy Bebop was doable.
one, everyone was like, "Yeah, man, Oda's involved," and it's like, "Yeah, but Oda's a manga artist.
Yeah.
Like, sure, it's his vision of the characters and the story, but he's
Yeah.
not a filmmaker.
no,
He's
exactly.
not a TV producer. He, you know, it's it's a lot harder to translate those skills than I think people realize.
No, absolutely.
And a lot of the dialogue that might work in anime and manga will seem fucking goofy as
Yeah, I feel like they're changing Sanji's entire character. It just won't work.
shit.
Well,
on
that's
the
why a
screen.
lot of live actions have just had this reputation of being,
Cringe.
piles of dog shit, because they think that there is an exact correlation between how anime characters talk and how real actors talk, which is, unless your anime series is super grounded in terms of
Yeah, you honestly can't, dude. It can't be 1-to-1. It's like, it's so hard because it can't be 1-to-1. Changes have to be made, but you need to change only enough to make it realistic within like a live action, but not enough that it changes to become a completely different thing and barely feels like the show. Like, the main characteristics of the characters and the main plot points and themes need to be there.
like dialogue. Like, if we had something like Monster, for example, right, by
Yeah.
Urasao Naoki, or like 20th Century Boys, right, by Urasao Naoki, which ended up being a pretty decent live action, only because the dialogue is so grounded in reality in the manga. Whereas One Piece is like the most shonen you can get in terms
Yeah.
of like how characters act and how they talk.
Really hope it's not like some, because every fucking Marvel movie now has to have quips and funny lines that aren't funny.
I mean, this is going to be quick.
I know,
This is-
but
it's gonna be.
I just hope that it doesn't feel like a cheap version of that, because even to me, that the quippy and one-liners in Marvel feel like fucking stupid and not funny.
Well, the one line is a lot of the
Honestly, I think the one thing Marvel does well is the comedy.
one liners in Cowboy Bebop were like that as well, which kind of brought it down for a lot of people. Where it's like,
With
okay,
the live action, sorry, or
the live action, yeah.
I brought it down. It was already in the fucking
In-
gutter.
I mean-
What was that one line? Is this blackmail? And what was he? I think Jet goes, "Are you blackmailing me?" And the woman goes, "Well, Jet, you are black and you are male," or something like that. Which is
Writing.
like,
I thought that was funny. It was cringe. That was cringe as fuck, absolutely. And I think the humor in Cowboy Bebop missed a lot of the time. But I don't know, something about superhero movies, I think the comedy is one thing they do well, because the plot lines are kind of shit.
which is like
Writing
the
101.
which is like
Which out of context is fucking hilarious.
which is like someone really put this down on paper and thought, "This is it.
That got
this is
through
the
like
line."
everyone.
Yeah.
You're like, this hits different.
It's like, that's hilarious. Put it in. It's like the most surface level shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I also said as well, I was thinking about it when I was talking to some other people. I was like, I think the first arc is the arc that'll probably be like the easiest to film, and then that's because like One Piece later on, Oda's character design just get fucking weird.
Yeah.
He's like, how about I just make
I mean, Arlong isn't going to be easy to do. I wonder how they're going to do Arlong. He wasn't in the trailer.
somebody 9 times the size of a human, and their body is just like literally like a fucking
Eggplant.
what's the thing on Photoshop where you just
Moria's the throat goat.
make someone like deep fried or warped.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
like he just starts fucking up with people's proportions, and their heads are 10 times the size. It's like this is gonna need like ungodly amounts of CGI.
Yeah, like,
And so now I'm like, all right, this is the first arc where you can gauge if this is gonna do well, and
Yeah.
this just a crush.
like
they have
even,
a fuck
even,
ton of money.
yeah, even with like human characters, right? Or like characters
Bro,
that look
what's the name
human.
of that first woman who turns up and she's like fucking massive and supposed to be like super ugly, and then she becomes really attractive later on.
Alvida.
Oh.
What's her name? She starts off and she looks like a brick shithouse of a woman.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
the fuck are you gonna? How the hell is that gonna work?
Well, I mean,
Not to mention, I feel like Netflix is going to be too PC to be like, you're fat and ugly. Ha ha ha. Luffy's not going to do that. I feel like, which is not only are you changing Alvida's character, because the whole thing with her character is that she's fucking disgusting inside and out, and uses the fear and strength to make her crew love her or say that she's beautiful, etc. And then Luffy, who just doesn't give a fuck, comes along and calls her out for being gross. And I just feel like Netflix is gonna be too scared. Body shaming is bad to do that, and in which case you're changing Alvida's character and honestly Luffy to a certain extent.
even look at like Doflamingo. He's like a normal looking dude visually, but Oda was like, what if I made him 11 feet tall though?
Yeah, and then like,
It's like, did you have to do that?
how do
Yes.
you make Chopper not look like some kind of first version Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well,
weird
that, see,
ass-
that's the thing. Like, so
which he's not in it though.
yeah, when
Yeah,
I
he-
made
he's
yeah,
not in it.
so when I made my video, I touched upon that being like, I think it was a good choice for them to cut it right before where Chopper comes into the story, because I could not imagine this like horrendous CGI Chopper just like fucking running around with like all these other people being like,
Yeah.
all right, you know what? At least you were smart enough to be like, let's just stick to like human characters first,
Yeah.
and then we can deal with the non-human characters that.
Honestly, I think it's very smart what they're covering. It's like we don't need to rush it. We don't need to cover it all. We don't need to skip a bunch of stuff just to like squeeze so much content in. Let's do 8 episodes, 8 hours. Let's cover the Baratier and Arlong Park, which are 2 arcs that are loved by the community. And I think if you if you watched or read One Piece, if you experienced Baratier or Arlong Park, at that point I feel like you have a sense of what the series is about, what the characters are about, and if the series is for you or not. A lot of people don't like One Piece and drop it, but in my opinion, it's like you got to get to at least Baratier and Arlong Park. While Alabasta and Water 7 are fucking and its lobby are fire, it's like you get the vibe by the end of Arlong Park, right? So this live action is basically going to be character introductions, Baratier, Arlong Park, for the most part. The first couple episodes are going to be character introductions and backstories and all that.
come later.
And I think that's smart. I think they're covering realistically adaptable material.
Yeah, well, even with like the human characters, there are some fucking weird human characters, and I think like even just Buggy the Clown,
Yeah.
which on like the grand One Piece scale of things is on like the less weirder side of things.
Yeah.
But on like the normal anime scale of things, he's still fucking
He's
weird.
still
as
weird as
He's
fuck.
still weird
Yeah.
and cartoonish as a character.
They're gonna do like the eyes popping out stuff. I don't know.
Imagine they did. Imagine they fucking CGI'd eyes popping out. That'd be hilarious.
I just think it's everything. For
I'm
the-
interested
Yeah.
to see how they're gonna show his devil fruit power.
I
That
mean,
one shot we got of like the Gum pistol, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this
it looks so bad.
this looks jank as hell, man.
I think it's like when you.
I think it was mid. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. Him saying "Gum Gum Pistol" made me cringe a little bit, but other than that, the actual CGI, like the fucking Sea King, looked fine to me. And I think, honestly, I do think the stretching, while it's always gonna look janky, wasn't terrible.
Think about like Mr. Fantastic, right? From Fantastic Four, where
yeah.
he stretches. I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, I guess the suit does a lot of heavy lifting with that because
Yeah.
you can visualize the suit stretching, and it
Yeah.
doesn't feel that weird. But when you see Luffy's skin stretch, like some kind of budget Armstrong toy, you're like, it just looks fucking weird.
Yeah. Also, I saw like this interesting comment about that, which was like in that trailer when his arm is stretching, the scene is quite dark, which
Yeah.
Yeah.
hides a lot of blemishes in
Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah.
So it was like I'm already very skeptical on the CGI purely. I mean,
Okay,
the fucking
okay.
giant fish in the trailer. I was
Everyone
just like,
everyone liked the look of that, and I'm just like, this does look terrifying. I'll give you that, but it's that uncanny kind of like effect where it doesn't look like a cartoon, but it also doesn't look like it should exist in reality.
it looks
either.
like PS4 graphics.
You
know what I
And no shit, it doesn't exist in reality. Have you ever seen a dolphin up close? They don't look like they fucking should exist, dude. They're weird. Like in pictures and stuff, it's fine. But if you've ever touched a dolphin or seen a dolphin up close, they're fucking freaky. They don't look like they should belong anywhere. And then I can only imagine sharks and other fucking deep sea creatures.
Where it's like it's realistic but not realistic.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is just me, but like they just look like they were like cosplaying like a D&D thing. A lot of the to me, I know that's such a nitpick, but to me,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I don't know.
No. I said exactly the same thing. They all look, except for Usopp. For some reason,
Usopp looks. Yeah, I like Usopp.
Usopp looks legit because he actually
Usopp's design's on point. Him without the nose, it still looks like Usopp, dude.
looks and feels like
Everyone else is a
a real
cosplayer, though.
person. Everyone else looks like a cosplayer. And I
You know why that's the case? Because Usopp is the realistic, relatable person in the crew. He is the human person in the crew. Everyone else is ridiculous, over-the-top personalities.
part of that reason is just because whatever clothing, they were obviously very faithful to the original character designs, but I feel like that's actually an issue because the
Yeah.
clothes that work in like anime don't always translate well into like live
Yeah.
action. And what I got from watching their kind of like character designs is that their clothes don't look like their clothes don't feel worn. You know,
Yeah,
they all
yeah.
feel very, very clean and like, okay, let's think about this a little bit deeper, right? Let's pretend that these are real people for a second. You know, you have to wear these clothes every day,
Yeah, they'd
or,
be beaten
or so.
up, yeah.
They would be like at least like a little bit beaten up, a little bit worn. Maybe you'd learn how to like style it a bit more. But no, these look like very clean and
Pristine,
pristine.
yeah,
How they look in
Cosplays.
the manga, how they look in the anime.
They're the cleanest pirates on
Yeah.
the sea.
Yeah. And I'm like, this works for an anime and a manga because, okay, they're wearing the same clothes every day and it's like an art style. But as soon as you bring this to reality, it's just the subtle things
Yeah.
that give that you visually look and your brain just goes, something about this stands out. You know, something.
That's
Yeah.
true.
In
That's
the
true.
same vein, though, I think Netflix made a conscious choice to not go full on with exactly replicating certain character styles,
Yeah.
and I think that was a good thing. Like, for example, like Sanji in this live action doesn't have the curly eyebrow.
Yeah.
Usopp doesn't have the
Are
giant
they going to
nose.
give him a lollipop though? That's the big thing.
if it's a
I'm okay with the eyebrow, even though it's relevant to the story. I'm okay with the nose. I am not okay with the cigarette. It's like at that point, like why? Like it's not even it's the principle. It's like if you take away his cigarette, what else are you gonna change? Just because like these are fucking pirates.
cigarette, then I'll be like, my man. But like, I think like them not adding in, say, like Sanji's curly eyebrow, Usopp's long nose, I think was a good idea because
Yeah.
Yeah.
if they had
too
added that
dumb.
in, it would have just looked incredibly tacky,
Yeah.
and it would have actually just looked like cosplay.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, I think they made some conscious choices to be like, let's not include this, let's include this, and I think in general it
I
looks
just don't want them to be the PC pirate brigade.
a hell of a lot
Like,
better
but
than
they-
a lot
we-
of other live action out there.
We don't need to be politically correct. We're fucking pirates.
And I think, like, especially with a lot of, like, Japanese production live action, they try to be so faithful to how the character looks that, again,
True.
you just look at it and being like, that's not a character, that's a dude who just came back from Comic-Con. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's why, right, like, for example, like, the Full Metal Alchemist live action was so shit. Because
Yeah.
Ed just looked like a cosplayer. He didn't
Yeah.
feel like
I mean,
a real person.
out of everyone on the Straw Hat Crew, my least favorites, let's say,
Visually.
take visually, is probably Nami, which, if you think about it, should be like the easiest one out of the Straw
Right,
Hat Crews.
right.
But like her hair was so bright, and it doesn't. it just, you know, it kind of just felt like it kind of just looked like either she dyed it
wig.
that day or she put on a wig. Like
Yeah.
I said, it's orange isn't like exactly an unnatural hair color
And isn't
in
that,
the real world.
Isn't that actress also naturally a redhead?
I have no idea.
I think I saw pictures of that being like, why would they give her a wig when she's just
Last time I saw her, she was blonde. But girls be changing their hair every other week these days.
naturally a redhead?
Yeah,
And I was just like, okay, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself, but like out of everyone, she has the simplest character design, and I'm like, you look like a cosplayer. Where you don't like Nami as a character does not need to look like a cosplayer at all. It's so easy to transfer her character over. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's just one shot, you know. Whether that's all we were given.
Well, I'm hoping. I'm expecting it to be bad, and if it's good, I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm the same. Like, I'm definitely going to be watching it just because I'm curious to see, like, if this will be the one that, I guess, breaks the streak.
Will it be the One Piece? Boys, the One Piece is actually real. Live action.
Yeah.
So, you know, but
Can we
I'm
get
not,
much higher?
I'm not expecting. I'm
Yeah.
not holding my breath.
If I'm hoping for a direction, I'm hoping they go fucking. It's hard to make One Piece work in live action, but they need to go like full Kung Fu Hustle, the original like Jim Carrey's The Mask, to be like, okay, this is goofy, but we're like embracing the goofiness and
Yeah.
we're kind of like self-aware about
Yeah,
it. If
don't
they-
try to, like, ground it too much in reality.
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to see Whitebeard's cock.
The One Piece. It's just a
Dude, that's why it's so hard. It's like we've been contradicting ourselves. We're like, we need to make it real. Or you could just embrace the goofiness and make it not real. It's like, it's so tough.
scene where they just look up and it's just like the shadow.
Shadow of his cock.
The shadow of his cock.
It's real. Well, you know, I also saw as well being like, you know what, guys? We had the Bleach live action. We're getting a One Piece live action. So now, the big
Naruto.
3, baby, the last one. Naruto live action is just around the corner. And I'm like, if there's one show that is not going to work in live action, it's that one.
I mean, I think Naruto would be easier to adapt than One Piece.
I agree with that. I think Naruto should be easier than One Piece. Are any of them easy? Not really.
Yeah,
Right.
in my mind, One Piece is like, if they can do One Piece, they can do anything right. You know,
That's true.
to me, there is nothing more cartoonish than One Piece.
Yeah.
Anyway, my friends, whoops. Hope you guys enjoyed Chimpak, and I'll see you all in the next one. I did miss my first upload, so I have to do 1,000 push-ups on stream at some point. We'll see how that goes. I feel like my body's gonna fall apart, but it'll be fun. And yeah, take it easy, boys.